Is English okay?
Yes.
Obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. It is our great fortune today to welcome His Holiness Sri Krishna Caitanya Swami Maharaj.
Oops, sorry.
Maharaj was born in New York City in 1965, the very same historic year that Srila Prabhupada arrived in New York to begin his global mission of
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna.
family that valued education and the arts. He developed exceptional musical skills from a young age. By the time he entered Berklee College of Music in 1982, he had mastered 16 instruments. After graduating in 1987 with a degree in recording engineering and production, he embarked on a journey as a professional musician and a spiritual seeker. His life's journey, from a musically gifted youth to a spiritual leader, exemplifies dedication to the path of Bhakti Yoga and the spreading of Krishna consciousness worldwide. He joined ISKCON full-time in 1991 in Ireland, dedicating his life to devotional service, preaching, and the mission of Srila Prabhupada. Over the decades, Maharaj has served in many parts of the world and continues to assist ISKCON globally, including supporting policy making and strategic discussions alongside the GBC, the governing body commission. 2 years later, in 1993, His Holiness Lokanath Swami initiated him, naming him Ekalavya Das. His dedication and service led to his acceptance of the Sannyasa order in Pandharpur, elevating him to Sri Krishna Chaitanya Swami in 2021. Elected in 2023, Maharaj is currently serving as ISKCON Minister for Kirtan and ISKCON Minister for Padayatra, guiding and inspiring devotees worldwide in congregational chanting, pilgrimage, and grassroots spiritual outreach. At present, Maharaj is based in Pandharpur, Maharashtra, a most sacred Dhama. There, he is leading the development of a major ISKCON project, including a temple, guest house, goshala, and facilities for pilgrims, as well as the construction of Lok Studio, a multimedia recording and production studio dedicated to preserving and sharing devotional music, teachings, and culture. Other significant contributions. He serves as a part of the team developing the Bhuvakulta Temple project in Pandharpur, a 150 crore ISKCON temple project in Maharashtra's spiritual heartland. He holds a Bhakti Sastri degree from the Mayapur Institute, demonstrating his deep understanding of Vedic scriptures. He carries forward his Guru's emphasis on the holy name, humility, and compassionate outreach. We are truly grateful for Maharaj's presence with us today, and we invite all devotees to receive his association, guidance, and inspiration with an attentive and open heart.
All right, thank you. No, I never finished that one.
So, what would you like to welcome Maharaj?
I have to get, what's the one called the condensed version?
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare.
I'd also like to welcome his parents, Prabhuji, and Mother family. Actually, they are the source of inspiration of all of us in Korea, and their dedication and their consistent and regular guidance, all of us, what we are doing here actually in Korea. So we are very much grateful to Prabhuji Maharaj. We are visiting after a long time here, and we are very happy to receive them here in Korea. So let's welcome the entire family back to each other.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare.
I'll request all of you, including myself, to so we can have uninterrupted here.
All right. Somehow. Hare Krishna. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Janavala Bhagavardhani Gopi Janavala Bhagavardhani Yashodanandana Brajajanaranjana Yashodanandana Brajajanaranjana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Janavala Bhagavardhani Gopi Janavala Bhagavardhani Yashodanandana Brajajanaranjana Yashodanandana Brajajanaranjana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Om Vishnupad Paramhamsa Parirajikacharya Astottara Shata Shri Srimad His Divine Grace Srila Abhay Charna Arvinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Jai Om Vishnupad Paramhamsa Parirajikacharya Astottara Shata Shri Srimad His Divine Grace Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Thakur, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai, Srila Namacharya Haridas Thakur ki Jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnavinda ki Jai, Prem Sukho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda ki Jai, Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gop Gopinath Sham Kund Radhakund Giri Govardhan ki Jai, Shri Vrindavan Dham ki Jai, Shri Mayapur Dham ki Jai, Shri Jagannath Puri Dham ki Jai, Ganga Mai ki Jai, Jamuna Mai ki Jai, Tulsi Devi ki Jai, Bhakti Devi ki Jai, Yuga Dharma Harinam Sankirtan Yagna ki Jai, Brihat Mridanga Srila Prabhupada's Transcendental Book Distribution ki Jai, Shri Shri Gaurnitai ki Jai, Shri Shri Panchatattva ki Jai, Shri Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra ki Jai, Shri Shri Radha Madan Mohanji ki Jai, Shri Shri Radha Madhava ki Jai, Shri Sudarshan Chakra ki Jai, Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. All glories to the Sama devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the Sama devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the Sama devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories, all glories, all glories, all glories to Sri Shri Guru, Sri Shri Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prashtaya. Bhaktivinoda Swami. I'm sorry. Can this mic go a little bit louder? Can you make this a little bit louder? And do we have a second mic? Dusra mic, ke paas? Only one mic. One more is there? Wired is okay. Sorry. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Nasta Praeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtaki Krishnaya Vasudevaya
Krishnaya Vasudevaya
Devaki Nandanaya Cha
Devaki Nandanaya Cha
Nanda Gopal Kumaraya
Nanda Gopal Kumaraya
Govindaya Namo Namaha.
Govindaya Namo.
Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam. We're reading Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 3, text number 17. Can you remove the echo? Echo band, Karanga? Ayor harati vaipumsam
Ayor Hari Vaipumsam
Udyanastam chayan aso Tasyartayat kshano neta Uttama shloka vartaya Ayor harati vaipumsam Udyanastam chayan aso Tasyartayat kshano neta Uttama shloka vartaya Ayor harati vaipumsam Udyanastam chayanaso Tasyartaya kshano nita Uttama shloka vartaya Ayor harati vaipumsam Udyanastam chayanaso Tasyartaya kshano nita Uttama shloka vartaya. Please chant.
Ayor harati vaipumsam
Ayor Hari Vaipumsam
Astam chayannaso
Udyanastam Chayannaso
Tasyate yakshano
Tasyate Yakshano Nita
Shloka bhartaya
Uttama Shloka Vartaya
Ayor harati vaipumsam
Ayor Hari Vaipumsam
Dhyanastam sayantasyo
Udyanastam Chayannaso
Tasyate yakshano nitya
Tasyate Yakshano Nita
Uttam shloka vartaya
Uttama Shloka Vartaya.
Vaishnavis.
Ayor Hari Vaipumsam Udyanastam Chayannaso Tasyate Yakshano Nita Uttama Shloka Vartaya Ayor Hari Vaipumsam Udyanastam Chayannaso Tasyate Yakshano Nita Uttama Shloka Vartaya.
Both by rising and by setting, the sun decreases the duration of life of everyone, except one who utilizes the time by discussing topics of the all-good personality of Godhead. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Srila Bhai Charnarvinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Lose for a mic, eh? No, okay. Purport. This verse indirectly confirms the greater importance of utilizing the human form of life. What's this echoing sound?
Maharaj, Hindi translation is going on.
There are Hindi devotees,
Acha?
translation speaking. But they can't hear.
Okay.
Like Akashvani.
Yeah. Akashvani. TK. This verse indirectly confirms the greater importance of utilizing the human form of life to realize our lost relationship with the Supreme Lord by acceleration of devotional service. Time and tide wait for no man, so the time indicated by the sunrise and the sunset will be uselessly wasted if such time is not properly utilized for realizing identification of spiritual values. Even a fraction of the duration of life wasted cannot be compensated by any amount of gold. Human life is simply awarded to a living entity, Jiva, so that he can realize his spiritual identity and his permanent source of happiness. A living being, especially the human being, is seeking happiness because happiness is the natural situation of the living entity. But he is vainly seeking happiness in the material atmosphere. A living being is constitutionally a spiritual spark of the complete whole, and his happiness can be perfectly perceived in spiritual activities. The Lord is the complete spirit whole, and his name, form, quality, pastimes, entourage, and personality are all identical with him. Once a person comes into contact with any one of the above-mentioned energies of the Lord through the proper channel of devotional service, the door to perfection is immediately opened. In the Bhagavad Gita 2.40, the Lord has explained such contact in the following words: endeavors in devotional service are never baffled, nor is there failure. A slight beginning of such activities is sufficient even to deliver a person from the great ocean of material fears. As a highly potent drug injected intravenously acts at once on the whole body, the transcendental topics of the Lord injected through the ear by the pure devotee of the Lord can act very efficiently. Oral realization of the transcendental messages implies total realization, just as fructification of one part of a tree implies fructification of all other parts. This realization for a moment in the association of pure devotees like Shukadeva Goswami prepares one's complete life for eternity, and thus the sun fails to rob the pure devotee of his duration of life, inasmuch as he is constantly busy in the devotional service of the Lord, purifying his existence. Death is a symptom of the material infection of the eternal living being. Only due to material infection is the eternal living entity subjected to the law of birth, death, old age, and disease. The materialistic way of pious activities like charity is recommended in the Smriti Shastras as quoted by Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. Money given in charity to a suitable person is guaranteed bank balance in the next life. Such charity is recommended to be given to a Brahmana. If the money is given in charity to a non-Brahmana without Brahmanical qualification, the money is returned in the next life in the same proportion. If it is given in charity to a half-educated Brahmin, even then the money is returned double. If the money is given in charity to a learned and fully qualified Brahmana, the money is returned 100 and 1,000 times. And if the money is given to a Veda Paranga, one who has factually realized the path of the Vedas, It is returned by unlimited multiplication. The ultimate end of Vedic knowledge is realization of the personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna, as stated in the Bhagavad Gita, Vedaischa savar aham eva vedyaha. There is a guarantee of monies being returned if given in charity, regardless of the proportion. Similarly, a moment passed in the association of a pure devotee by hearing and chanting the transcendental messages of the Lord is a perfect guarantee for eternal life, for returning home back to Godhead. Madhama gatva punarjanma na vidyate. In other words, a devotee of the Lord is guaranteed eternal life. A devotee's old age or disease in the present life is but an impetus to such guaranteed eternal life. Haribo. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Om Jnana Chanandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manovishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Bhakadamayam Tadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sarvajata Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Raghunatam Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitanscha Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Tapta Kanchana Gauragi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Radha Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Can we make this a little bit louder? Let's go a little bit louder. More? More volume? That's it? Hare Krishna. I have to put my lips right on it to get the sound. No more sound is coming? Hare Krishna. Okay. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. That's it, huh? Okay, here we go. I'd like to thank His Grace, also a little better. I'd like to thank His Grace Amal Arjun Prabhu for having us in his beautiful home. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. And thank you, Manoharini Subhadra Mataji. Hare Krishna. Mataji is famous for Operation Vibhuti. She goes in the park, she sees who has some chandan or some vibhuti, and she goes to them and immediately distributes Srimad Bhagavatam set. Thank you so much for inspiring us, Mataji. Hare Krishna. And delicious prasadam. Swadisht. Hare Krishna. Jai Ho, Jai Ho. And I'd like to thank their children also. Anand Prabhu is here. Yeah. Haribol Anand Prabhu. And Ambika Mataji is here. Hare Krishna. Thank you. Hare Krishna. And Tapan Mishra Prabhu, I'd also like to thank him for his presence in this program, adding auspiciousness. Tapan Mishra Prabhu was my Bhakti Vaibhav teacher at the Mayapur Institute. And I remember your daughter used to come and she also made presentation there. So nice, this whole family is here. Thank you all for coming. And he's also a GBC member of the executive committee of the GBC. So just as we see Kanaya Desh Yatra is growing so healthily, after having his golden touch, his Midas touch, so similarly may the whole globe of ISKCON also flourish in the same way. Hare Krishna. Prabhu is so busy. I'm so grateful he took time out from his schedule. Thank you. So I'll also ask him to speak a few words on this topic. Our topic, we're getting ready for celebrating New Year's Eve. And so our topics, we're going to have a 3-day session on New Year's resolutions. So today's topic, we're going to talk about Kal Kare So Aaj Kar, before time does it for you. So don't wait till tomorrow what you can do today. Shubha Shigram. If it's auspicious, do it now. And then next topic will be time management and resolutions for the new year. And the last topic, third topic, will be after the resolutions, entering the new year with bhakti spirits. And we're so grateful to His Divine Grace, Srila Abhay Charanarvinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, who has brought us all together here today. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. So we went through this beautiful verse from the Bhagavatam, which talks about that with every rising and the setting of the sun, our time is gone and our duration of life ceases. For a non-devotee, that brings great fear. But for a devotee, we see Krishna as time. Krishna says, time I am. So a devotee embraces time because time is Krishna. And time helps us to remember Krishna. Krishna says in the Gita, Manmana Bhagavan Bhakto Najjajimam Namaskaru Mame Vashyasi Satyam Te Atijane Priyosine. It says, always remember me, become my devotee, worship me, offer your obeisances unto me. Surely you will come to me, because you are my very dear friend. So Prabhupada's purport is amazing, a wonderful purport. He says, Srila Prabhupada says, even a fraction, small piece of the duration of life wasted cannot be compensated by any amount of gold. If we lose just one moment, just one scroll in the wrong direction, or one wrong video watched, we cannot buy that back with any amount of gold. Therefore, I have blocked YouTube on all my devices. And I feel liberated. It's great. Best thing I've done this year so far. So we see that we just are passing the year 2025. 2025 ho gaya. So 2025 had some very good moments in our lives. Krishna has blessed us with some good moments. So I want all of us to reflect for just a minute and think what were some of the best moments for us in 2025 and what we learned from those moments. So please think, just take a minute and think, what were my best moments of 2025? Okay, thank you. Anyone would like to share what their best moment of 2020? Yes, Prabhu.
It was actually in the month of October and November, the Damodar month. This was the first month that I celebrated Krishna consciousness, and I would say that was perhaps the most significant, like the most progressive month that I've had.
Haribo! And that was your first month in Krishna consciousness?
Yeah.
Jai Ho, Suswagatam, welcome. Thank you, thank you. What's your name?
Abhishek.
Abhishek. Nice to meet you, Abhishek. Hare
Nice to meet
Krishna.
you.
Thank you.
Maharaj.
Thank you, Abhishek Prabhu. And anyone else would like to share? Who else would like to share? Yes, Mataji. You went to Vrindavan. She went to Vrindavan during Kartik Mas. Haribo. Yes, Prabhu.
Krishna Maharaj. We had wonderful opportunity to have given association of His Holiness Swami Maharaj in Gilgordhan.
Say in the mic.
Hare Krishna. This Kartik month, I had a wonderful opportunity to start the association of His Holiness Swami Maharaj and his all devotees.
Haribo. So this is a very profound statement because Prabhupada also mentions in the purport today, similarly, a moment passed in the association of a pure devotee by hearing and chanting the transcendental messages of the Lord is a perfect guarantee for eternal life, for returning home, back to Godhead. So we're so grateful to Srila Prabhupada has given us this opportunity to come and associate with pure devotees. Wonderful. So thank you all for sharing. Maybe after the class, during Prasadam, you can share with your friends more of your great moments of 2025. It's a very nice way to have Krishna Katha. So, time, Krishna says, time I am, the destroyer of the worlds. Time is a very, very important topic. Time, sometimes devotees say, or people say, I'm just killing time. But we don't kill time. Time kills us. So time is a very, very important topic. We see one of the qualities of a pure devotee is they never want to waste time. They want to use everything in Krishna's service all the time. When Prabhupada was on a morning walk and he saw some drips of water coming from a faucet, bloop, bloop, bloop. And Prabhupada went and said, turn off that tap, don't waste the water. So Prabhupada didn't like Krishna's energies being wasted. Turn off the fan when we're not in the room. Turn off the lights when we're not in the room. Don't waste Krishna's energy. And time is also Krishna's energy. So time also should not be wasted. We should use everything in Krishna's service, especially time. And now I'm going to ask His Grace Tapan Mishra Prabhu to say a few words about time.
Hare Krishna. So I was reflecting, when Maharaj was speaking, I was reflecting that as to how in the Bhagavad Gita and the Bhagavatam, the emphasis is given about time. One of the 5 primary topics of Bhagavad Gita, as we all know, is Kala. It's one of the aspects. Also, we notice in the Srimad Bhagavatam that the Srimad Bhagavatam is the Amal Purana, which describes the beautiful pastimes of the Lord with His devotees. But then we notice in the Srimad Bhagavatam that significant amount of time is spent by discussing about time. As Maharaj described, that one, if we do not understand time, then time comes in the form of death. So we can see that from all of our scriptures, we can see that how time is extremely significant. And Srila Prabhupada, through his purports, encourages us all to understand not about time, but how to utilize this energy in the service of Krishna. And I was thinking that in all of these GCC countries, there are some countries where practicing devotees can say we are very busy. We don't have even a single moment. If you go to cities like Dubai, Dubai and cities like that, everybody is very busy. But somehow, in Kanaya Desh, we can say with certainty that 95% of people living in Kanaya Desh definitely have time. We have time. So, if we have time, as Maharaj is sharing with us, we should now learn from Maharaj's presentation how to utilize it in the service of Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Haribo. So our Dhritarashtra and Vidur are discussing, and they come to this perspective that time is imperceivably disappearing. Time is passing. Time is not ringing a bell and saying, now I'm going. Time is just going, and it's like a stream of water that's constantly flowing, but it's imperceivable to us. But we see the moving of time when we see certain symptoms, like our hair is turning gray, and our teeth are falling out, and we need thicker and thicker and thicker specs. Right? We know time is passing. So I am time. Time is just coming without any indication to us, without letting it know. So there's a nice verse from Sri Brahma Samhita we can chant together. Yach chakshureshya sabhita sakala grahana Raja samasta suramurti ashesha tejaha Yasya gyaya brahmati sambrita kala chakro Govindamari purusham tamaham bhajami. The sun, who is the king of all the planets, full of infinite effulgence, the image of the good soul, is as the eye of this world. I adore the primeval Lord Govinda, in pursuance of whose order the sun performs his journey, mounting the wheel of time. So the sun is just moving around and around in a very constant way. You see morning and night and day and night, day and night. Time is moving. There's also a famous picture where a person has fallen into a well and he's holding onto some branches, and at the bottom of the well is a python getting ready to swallow him. And on the top of the well is a tiger trying to eat him. And he's just holding onto the branches. And there are two rats, one white rat and one black rat. Ek safed chuha or ek kala chuha. And he's chewing on the roots, the branches. And he's going to fall into the mouth of the python, which represents death. And at the same time, there's some honey that's on the tree that's just kind of dropping. He's just trying to get that honey. So the black and the white chua, it represents the day and night. The time is passing, and as time passes, eventually those chuhas are going to chew on the branches. The chuhas will chew. And then eventually we fall into the mouth of the python as time progresses. Fear is not from time. Fear comes from forgetting Krishna while time is passing. Fear is not from time. Fear comes from forgetting Krishna while time is passing. If we remember Krishna, then we won't be afraid. Bhajahure mana Shri Nandanandana Abhaya Chana Vindai. Bhajahure mana Shri Nandanandana Abhaya Chana Bhaya means fear, abhayam means without fear. If we take shelter of Krishna, we'll be abhayam, without fear. So the sun is rising, the sun is setting, and the materialistic person who doesn't remember Krishna experiences fear. But a Krishna conscious person doesn't experience that fear. Let's read this verse from Srimad Bhagavad Gita, chapter 11, text number 32. Shri Bhagavan Vacha Kalosmi Loka Shayakrit Pravritto Lokan Samartu Iha Pravritaha Vrite Pitvam Na Bhava Vishyanti Sarve Ye Vashtita Prajnanikeshu Yodhyaha. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, Time I am, the great destroyer of the worlds, and I have come here to destroy all people, with the exception of you, the Pandavas. All the soldiers here on both sides will be slain. So the Supreme Personality of Godhead has said, Time I am. So when we see the destructive forces of the world, we can see it as Krishna. One time Srila Prabhupada was eating kachoris in Calcutta. Srila Prabhupada loved kachoris. As a small boy, he was called Kachori Mukhi. He always had some kachoris in his mouth or in his pockets. So the bombs were being dropped. There was wartime. Bombs were coming down. Thank you, thank you. And all the people were running to the bomb shelters. And they said, come, come. But Srila Prabhupada said, I will stay here and eat my kachoris. They said, what about the bombs? And Srila Prabhupada said, I see if the bomb is coming, I said, the bomb is coming, that is Krishna. So we see everything as Krishna's energies. So this is an interesting example. You see the animal? It's a billy. Can you see the billy? Even small children will like this example. See? Yeah. So there's two cats, two billies. One cat has a kitten in his mouth. And how does a kitten feel when the kitten is in the mouth of the cat? Is the kitten afraid or happy? Happy. And how does the rat feel?
He doesn't feel anything because he's dead.
He doesn't feel anything because he's dead. Yeah. Okay. But before he dies, how does he feel? Bahut bhayabit. He feels very afraid. So devotee feels that he's in the mouth of Krishna, like a baby kitten in the mouth of the mother cat. So devotee is not afraid because of time. But the materialist sees time and death is coming. Materialist is afraid. So this is a beautiful example. Now, I'm feeling separation from Kapiledwar Prabhu. I want to have more of this association. So I would request him to kindly comment further in this regard. Thank you so much.
Maharaj so far kindly shared with us with respect to how time is to be perceived. And before we start perceiving time one way or the other, it's very important for us to perceive that there is time. A lot of times we live our life in such a way that we become completely immune to the passing of time. And I was reflecting as to how in many of our Vaishnava Acharyas' bhajans, they remind us as to how this life should be spent in thinking about Krishna. Maharaj quoted the beautiful bhajan of Bhajo Hiriman. Another one that comes to my mind is this beautiful bhajan. Hari Hari Bifale Chanama Kawai Hari Hari
Bifale Konainu
Manusha Janama Kaya Radha Krishna Jamiya Shamita Vaishnavacharyas, although they always perceive Krishna everywhere, at every moment, as we sing early morning, in the Guru Vashtakam, I was reflecting as Maharaj was speaking. One of the verses actually reflects on how the spiritual masters always perceive time. And it goes, Shri Radhika Madhavanora Madhurya The devotee of Krishna not only perceives time, but for every single moment, they are deeply relishing and immersing themselves in the glories of Sri Radha Krishna's Nam, Rupa, Guna, and so on, and Leelas. So, I think if we first take the first step of always evaluating what time we have and how are we utilizing it, then we can see which category of the cat's mouths are we following.
Haribo. Thank you so much. Beautiful. So let us see which category we're in and how we can be more of the time in the category of the kitten in the mouth of the cat. So I want to do some practical exercise with everyone here in this regard. And I'm jumping to the end because we're running out of time. And we're going to fill me, all right? So the bottle represents our time and what we do with our time. So what are the different objects that we have here on the screen next to the bottle? Anyone can say? What is there? There's rocks. What else? Pebbles, yeah? Sand, water. Yeah. So which is, if you're going to fill the bottle, what should you put in first? The water or the rocks or the sand? What should go first? The rocks, the bigger things. So then the other things can go inside. So the most important thing should go in first. So in our time, when we're planning our time, we should plan the most important things should go in our time first. So how to plan this? So we have something special for you. It's called the Mahaprabhu Matrix. Okay, the Mahaprabhu Matrix. So we have these sheets. We're passing them out to all of you. I hope that some of you may have pens with you. I know pens are very archaic and many people don't use them anymore. Some people have them. So we're handing you out this sheet. Tapan Mishra Prabhu has a pen. Very good. Okay. The pen is mightier than the sword. Yes. So we're handing out this Mahaprabhu Matrix. So I'll explain the matrix. The top left-hand corner, we see on the top, it's urgent and not urgent. Okay? Urgent means you have to do it now. Not urgent means it can happen later. Baad mein karenge. And left side we have important and not important. Important means it will make a big difference in our life, and not important means it won't make much difference in our life. So left quadrant, urgent and important. It has to be done now, and it's also important. And then we have not urgent, but important. It doesn't have to be done now, but it is important. We should do it. And then this corner, not important and urgent. It's calling for our attention right now, but it's not going to make much of a difference in our life. It's not that important. And then the quadrant 4, not urgent and not important. It doesn't have to be done now, and it's also not important. So I want you to fill this Mahaprabhu matrix and put some things that you do in your life, that some things, what is it that's important and urgent? What is it that's not urgent and important? Quadrant 3, not important and urgent. And quadrant 4, not important and not urgent. So learn to think in these 4 quadrants. Please go ahead. I'll give you some thinking music. One more minute. It's urgent. Thirty seconds. Time's up. Okay, so you may want to take this home and complete it at home because it's very healthy exercise. In the meantime, I want to ask, could someone give me an example of something in category number 1? Something that's urgent and important. Morning sadhana. It's urgent and important. Okay, very good. Chanting. Another example. Okay, give me something in category number 2. Not urgent, but important.
Prasadam.
Prasadam. I think the urgency depends on how hungry you are. If you're really hungry, it's urgent. But if you're not that hungry, it's less urgent. Okay, good. Another example, not urgent, but important. Huh? Sense gratification. Is sense gratification important? To some degree, without a limited amount of sense gratification, we cannot live. So some degree of sense gratification is important. But we should know our limits, right? We should have a healthy amount of sense gratification. Not overdo it. Because Srila Prabhupada said, sense gratification and Krishna consciousness go ill together. So we should keep our sense gratification to a minimum, only what's required to keep body and soul together. Okay, another example of something in quadrant 2. Important, not urgent.
I would say reading, because reading is something that we gradually, so it's not urgent, It's not something
Yes.
that you have to do at the moment.
Yes.
It's something that gradually build up upon.
Yeah, the book reading is very important, but it's not urgent. There's no alarm on the book that's like ringing like your phone. The phone rings, so it feels urgent. You want to pick it up, but the book is sitting there peacefully. We don't feel the urgency, but it is important. Yes, excellent. Thank you. What's some other examples of important and not urgent activities? Going to school. It's important. Well, in one sense, it is urgent because if you're late, then you get in trouble, right? So there's some urgency in going to school. Excuse me? Sleeping. Which category?
Important, not urgent, but important.
Not urgent, but important. Yes. Yes. Sleeping, we don't always feel that the urgency, but it's very important. Because if we don't sleep sufficiently, then we don't function sufficiently, properly, to our capacity. So let's move on to category number 3, not important but urgent. What's not important and urgent?
Going office.
Going to office. It's not important, but it's urgent. But if we don't go to office, how will we get money to pay our rent? So some importance is there. Yes. Excuse me? Chanting. You don't think, we're talking category 3 here, not important and urgent. You don't think chanting is important? Is chanting important or not important? Important? Important. Chanting is important. Kaler dosha dadhe rajan asti heko mahan gunan kirtana deva krishnasya mukta sangam param vijat. By this chanting, we can overcome the forces of Kali Yuga, which is creating so much disturbance. It's an ocean of faults. So is chanting important? Yes or no? Yes. Yes. So chanting would be in which category? Yeah, urgent, because we've given a vrata. Those of us who have taken initiation, we've given a vrata 16 rounds. Therefore, there's an urgency there to finish those rounds, to complete our vrata.
Checking bank balance.
Checking the bank balance. That would be urgent but not important.
Most people make it urgent,
Yeah.
but it's not important.
Right. Also, like, we get so many notifications. It's like I think it was one of the devotee was making a joke. He was saying that the phone is like a baby's diapers. You're always checking. So it's urgent but not important. Okay. Excuse me? Shopping. Yeah, random shopping, like not essential shopping. It's
Discount sales.
discount sales. That may come in the category of 4, not important and not urgent. We don't have to go shopping for something we don't need.
Sometimes Maharaj here,
Yeah.
they give steep discounts, like the Black Friday sale.
Oh, that's urgent.
So that's people think it's urgent.
Yes.
It's not important.
Yeah, unless you're buying something good that you can use for Krishna service. Yes. Okay, very good. Yes, Prabhu.
Thinking about future.
Thinking about the future. Planning for the future. Planning for our service. Which category is that?
Urgent, but not important. And like you can.
Planning for, what are you referring to? Are you talking about planning for Krishna's service? Or are you talking about planning
Material thinking.
just material thinking, what's going to happen? Right. So is it important? No. Is it urgent? No. So it's category 4. So which is the most important category that we should focus our time? You think number 1. So give some of so we have chanting our 16 rounds that comes there. But what about book reading? That's coming in category 2. That's also something we should spend time on.
Yes.
So I would suggest that we spend our time here, category 1 and 2. Important, urgent, and important, not urgent. Spend our time doing important things. Don't spend our time doing not important things. So if we can focus on category 1 and 2, and most like these efficiency gurus, they recommend spend time on category 2. It doesn't seem like it's urgent. It's not urgent, but it's important. It will help us grow gradually. Like studying Shastras, going for Bhakti Shastri, Bhakti Vaibhav, Bhakti Vedanta, Bhakti Sarvabhauma, and understanding scriptures very nicely. It doesn't seem urgent, but it's very important. So I'm going to ask His Grace Tapanishwar Prabhu also to comment further in this regard. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Maharaj. Mahaprabhu's matrix is Mahaprabhu's mercy. If we understand what Maharaj is sharing with us in terms of these 4 quadrants, it will help us perceive time, and it will also help us utilize time. It is mentioned that we have a tendency to make everything urgent and everything important. And we typically burn ourselves out because we think everything is urgent, everything is important. Today, by this matrix, we can analyze our life and reduce our stress. The other interesting observation that came to my mind while hearing Maharaj speak and looking at this quadrant was that although we like to define activities in devotional service as urgent, but maybe there's another perspective to look at it, that if they are planned well, then they will not be urgent. If they're planned well, then they're important. So if we have a sadhana routine, then it is not an urgency. It doesn't become urgent for us, it becomes normal. And I remember Maharaj sharing that we should evaluate our time, how as we spend our life and time in such a way that most of our activities can go into this right second quadrant.
Quadrant 2.
Quadrant number 2. And if we do not focus our energy on quadrant number 2, then believe you in me, we will all spend our time in quadrant number 1 and quadrant number 3 and possibly quadrant number 4 if we have some time left. And that leads to an unplanned life, it leads to a lot of stress. And even as practicing devotees, we can burn ourselves out. So in management also, such a matrix exists. And whether it's an individual level, whether it's at a family level, or whether at an institutional level, the way we should structure ourselves is to move towards quadrant 2, as Maharaj described, so that we can discharge all of the important activities in our life without making them all urgent. So this was one reflection, Maharaj. I was thinking when you were describing, that may come handy for us. Now, the real test is that how effectively can we utilize this exercise that Maharaj has very kindly presented to us. How effectively can we utilize it? Can we apply it in our life or not? I would like to ask how many devotees here, despite having time, still feel they don't have enough time. I think it's a common observation amongst all of us practicing devotees. If we ask ourselves, hey, am I able to read Srimad Bhagavatam every day? Am I able to chant quality rounds every day? What's the standard response we receive?
No,
Time. No time.
no time.
No time. And any reflections from devotees as to why does that happen? Even though we have 24 hours, we have sufficient time.
Right.
Priorities. Rajprakash Prabhu saying priorities.
Distractions.
Distractions. Maharaj shared that how Maharaj switched off YouTube on all his devices. It's one distraction, WhatsApp, YouTube, social media, they're distractions. So why is it that we always feel we're short of time?
Because we worry about losing time. That's where most of our time gets lost.
Correct. Worrying about losing time, worrying about things instead of acting upon things is how we lose time. But another very important thing that came in the purport and Maharaj mentioned is that the devotees of Krishna, they are actually utilizing the time every moment in the service. And service is meant to be active service. They're actively utilizing the time and therefore they're in touch with Krishna. By serving Krishna or Krishna conscious activities, serving under the guidance of ISKCON's activities, we are in touch with Krishna. And we're not contemplating all the time as to how am I to serve. Another interesting aspect that's coming now is as to why the scriptures describe we must always act under the guidance of Guru, Sadhu and Shastra. And what do the Gurus do? They give us specific service to discharge. And when we are under the guidance of Guru, Sadhu and Shastra, which is scripture, spiritual master and saintly devotees, like Maharaj, then mind has very little space to keep us occupied in quadrant number
4.
4. So we should all try to seek guidance and try to, in the framework of this, see I have so much time. It is also mentioned, what comes to, I was thinking about how when we read the life of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, we read Srila Prabhupada's activities, it's unfathomable, it's unfathomable for us as to how could Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Srila Prabhupada, how could they perform so much devotional service? So I can't recall the exact reference in Srimad Bhagavatam, but it is mentioned that time expands. Time is an energy of Krishna. It has the ability to expand for those who want to perform service. And it can contract very quickly for those who don't want to. So if you want more time, it is a practical observation, the lives of devotees. I've seen it, I've experienced it, and I'm sure many of you, that how before practicing, before coming in touch with Krishna consciousness, we were not able to do so many things. But just by coming in touch with Krishna consciousness, in every stage of life, one is able to discharge one's duty. If you're a student, we see that those who are chanting Hare Krishna, young students also are able to study and do well. The householders are able to juggle so many things here. We have so many householders now, and we notice they go to work, they work all day, they perform their sadhana in the morning, and in the evening they also come and preach, organize programs like this. So we have a great opportunity. We have a great opportunity to use this exercise and take the guidance of Guru, Sadhu and Shastra and follow in the footsteps of our previous acharyas and utilize every moment in the service of Krishna. Thank you, Maharaj, for bringing in this very important exercise for us.
Haribol. Thank you so much. Shall I thank you, Dr. Mishra Prabhu? So our next session tomorrow night is going to be part 2 of our New Year resolution series 2026 coming soon. Just now coming. How to value and utilize time. We'll discuss that tomorrow evening. And remember that time is valuable, and even if a clock is broken, it tells the time twice a day properly. So the best way to utilize our time is by the blissful chanting of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. So we're so grateful to Srila Prabhupada for giving us this wonderful knowledge and opportunity to use our time wisely, to engage our time in the service of Krishna, and the time will never be wasted, it will always be of our eternal benefit. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. And if anyone would like to stay in touch, I have my social media. You can scan QR codes. Thank you very much. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Gaur Premanande. Hari Hari Bol. Yeah, if we have time.
Now we have some clarified questions. There's some question about on today's topic. Are you in general?
So, Maharaj, my first doubt is that we are in this material world, and we have to do our material duties in order, to support our family, or money that we can use for ourselves and for donating to the ISKCON. We have to do our material activities. So my question is, how do we use our time in active service while performing our duties in this material world? Like, for example, 8 hours a day we spend in office, right? How do we spend those 8 hours also in like active devotional service?
Thank you. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Abhishek Prabhu, for your nice question. Let me see if I understand your question correctly. You're saying that we're here in the material world. We have our duties to support our family. We have our duties to collect wealth. We offer donations for Krishna consciousness. So how to use time in Krishna consciousness while performing our duties? 8 hours we're in the office. How we have time to utilize our time in Krishna's service. Is that your question?
It's like, how do we also use those 8 hours?
Mm-hmm.
Also, how do we use those 8 hours in devotion? Is there any way we can use those 8 or 12 hours in devotional service as well?
The time we're in the office.
Yeah, why get the occupied or something?
So your question, if I understand correctly, is that we're 8 hours in the office or 12 hours in the office, then how can we utilize that time in Krishna's service while we're at the office and occupied? Okay, good. So Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 9, text number 27. Yat karoshir dashnasi, yat chohosi tadasya, yat tapasyasi kunteya, tat karushva mad arpanam. Whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever you offer, whatever you give away in charity, whatever austerities you perform, do that, O son of Kunti, as an offering unto me. So whatever we do, we should do that as an offering to Krishna. So one good thing to do is before we start any activity is to chant this mantra. Om Tat Sat. Om Tat Sat. That means that this activity that I'm about to perform is for you, Krishna. It's for your benefit. So when we're sitting down to our desk at the office, or if we're going out into a construction site, or if we're getting ready to wake up our child that we're going to raise in Krishna consciousness, whatever we're going to do, whether we're about to cook a meal and offer it to Krishna, if we chant Om Tat Sat and put us in the concentration, the consciousness that this is for you, Krishna. And then the whole day long, while we're working at the office, we should remember that this is for Krishna. And we're maintaining a home, and that home we have Krishna's devotees are there. So we're collecting funds to pay the rent for Krishna's home to support Krishna's devotees. And many of us, we have deities at home like this. So whose home is it? It's actually Krishna's home. This home belongs to Jagannath. Jai Jagannath Swami ki Jai. So we're working to pay the rent on Jagannath's home. So we're working for Jagannath and for Jagannath's devotees. So with this consciousness, even while working in the material world, we can be Krishna conscious. Does that answer your question? Haribol. Yes, you have a question? What's your question? Yes.
Hi, Maharaj. Nice talk. Thank you for that. I just want to ask about the matrix beforehand. Don't you think it's flawed? Because urgency and importance are mutually exclusive. They're both not interdependent. And also they aren't mutually exclusive. They are dependent on each other. Just because when something is urgent, it's also important. And the only way I can think of that not being the case is that there's an objective definition to what is important and what is urgent. But isn't that also flawed, because we're all different in our own ways, with our own different circumstances. So you can't ask objectivity of subjective definitions of importance.
So let me see if I understand your question properly. It seems that you're making a point that it's difficult to be objective in this criteria, because what's urgent and important to one person may not be urgent and important to another person. Is that correct?
You come to that point when you think of, but the initial question is that, isn't the matrix flawed because urgency and importance are codependent? They aren't as separate as the matrix suggests, of them being on different axes and then being completely different.
What's the flaw?
The fact that they both are dependent on each other. Something that's urgent is also important. You can't quite say something that's urgent is not important. Because the fact that it is urgent makes it inherently important. And thus I mentioned, if that were not the case, then there should be objective ways of defining each thing, then the matrix would make sense. There are certain things that are urgent but not important. Then you can't ask of that, because we're all different, and that we all have our own circumstances.
Let me see if I understand your question properly. So your premise is that isn't the matrix flawed because these different aspects are dependent on each other. We see that you're saying that if something is urgent, it must be important. You made that statement. So first of all, just for clarification's sake, I'd like to just go through this list of common urgent, not important, category 1, 2, 3, 4. So common, important, and urgent, category 1. There's an exam, and your grades rely upon it, so it's important. And it's tomorrow. That makes it urgent. Urgency refers to the time frame, and importance refers to the value that it gives to your life. So something that's urgent and important, example, there's an accident. Someone is lying bleeding on the road. He may die. So it's time. If If the ambulance comes within 5 minutes, he may save his life. If the ambulance takes 10 minutes, he may die. So there's a lot of urgency there. And life is also important, whether he lives or dies, it's also important. Then call of nature. So you have to pass water, you have to go to the bathroom. So then you feel that urgency, it's a call now, and it's important because it's important for health as well. Then last minute preparations, like this morning, I was in Bombay and I was 5 o'clock in the morning, I had to leave for the airport and I was packing, and so it became very urgent. I had to run. I had to run to catch my flight. And again, flight. You see people running in the airport all the time because there's a lot of urgency. And if you miss a flight, it's a waste of money, it's expensive. So it's also important and urgent. Now we see category 2, not urgent and important. So chanting and reading, we can chant anytime. We can chant at 5 a.m., we can chant at 5 p.m. It's not urgent. Better to chant at 5 a.m., but we could chant at 5 p.m. also. But it is important to chant. Chanting will improve the quality of our life and help us develop our relationship with Krishna, which is very important. Exercise, going to the gym or doing some yoga asana or going for a walk or doing some pranayam, doing some push-ups, keeping the body healthy. It's important. Otherwise the body won't function, but it's not urgent. Listening to classes, maintaining relationships, healthy content, good videos. These are all important, but not urgent. Category 3, your friends, visiting your friends, phone calls, administration. I don't know. I don't agree with friends' visits. I think they're important. I don't know who made this. I know who made this. I'll talk with them. Some phone calls, some unimportant visits, some admin may not be important. I'll tell you what's not important. But these are urgent. Someone knocks on your door. It may not be an important visit, but the knock is at the door, therefore it's urgent. Okay, so time is there. So let's say someone is selling toothpaste door to door, and they come and knock on your door. You don't know who's knocking, but someone's knocking. So you open the door because it's urgent. Someone's knocking, but they're selling toothpaste and you already have toothpaste. So it's not important. Let me finish category 4. Category 4, not urgent, not important. These are the things that we want to minimize. Just social media scrolling, mindless scrolling, TV scrolling, gossip or gossiping, some video games, advertisements. These are not urgent and they're also not important. So your premise was, if something is urgent, isn't it important? So my answer is no. Because if someone is knocking on your door to sell you toothpaste, it's urgent, but it's not important. Does that clarify things? I want a yes or no first.
So the knock on the door.
I asked you, does that clarify things? No. Okay, good.
So
Thank
the
you.
knock on the door, right?
Yeah.
There's no obligation for you to open the door. The fact
No.
that you want to open the door makes it important to you. Like something can be urgent, but there's no obligation for you to do it. Like a thing becomes urgent when you actually want to do it or have to do it. That's the reason why it's urgent, and thus that what makes it important.
Let's see. You're sharing that. You're saying that urgency means you have to do it, right?
That's why it's urgent, because you have to do it.
I disagree, because if something is urgent, you still have a choice. In every one of these activities on the grid, we have a choice. There's nothing you have to do that's urgent. We always have a choice.
Then by that logic, everything that's not urgent, you also have a choice.
Yes, we have a choice. We have free will in this world.
So what makes something urgent?
What makes something urgent? It's time bound, like an exam. Let's say I have an exam tomorrow,
That's important to you.
and it's also urgent because it's tomorrow. Well, let's say I have an exam in 5 minutes. It's very urgent, it's happening in 5 minutes, as opposed to an exam that's happening in 3 months from now. Both are important, but because one is in 5 minutes, it's urgent. The other one's in 3 months, it's not so urgent.
So urgency is something that happens quickly. In short
Yes, it's a time-bound consideration.
So tomorrow, the school starts. I'm not going to the school. It's urgent because it's happening in a certain period of time.
Yes.
It's for any other event. Lots of events happen within a short period of time. Are all of those events urgent?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you. Can you speak a little slower and clearer?
Something that's urgent is that it'll happen in a short period of time. Lots of events happen in a short period of time. I need to eat in an hour. The school starts tomorrow that I don't need to attend. Lots of things happen within a short period of time. If I have a choice, I can choose not to attend either of these things, but all these events happen within a short period of time. And that, by that logic, everything that happens within a short period of time is urgent.
Yes, everything that's happening in a short period of time is urgent. And then you have to decide how important it is to you, if you want to actually go ahead and deal with it. So we want to spend our time dealing with those things that are important, not necessarily those things that are urgent.
So urgency is just time bound and nothing else.
Yes.
For the use of this matrix, urgency can be, I'm sorry.
No, please go ahead, please. Would you like a microphone?
No, that's,
All right.
so because urgency, any word it has its meaning as a noun, as a verb. So for the purpose of this matrix, we are only focusing on the meaning of urgency as a word where it is related to time and not your perception of something as being important and urgent. So not the adjective form of time of the word, but just how it's related to time.
Does that make more sense? Thank you so much. Jai Hind Bol. Time is expanded. Okay, we'll stop here. Thank you very much. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. And thank you so much for your active participation. And thank you for your patience. And thank you for your presence here tonight. May aap sab bod abari hoon. Bahut bahut dhanyawad. Hare Krishna.